Well, hi, I'm in the studio today with Sean. Thank you, Sean, for being here today.
It's great to be here.
You are our expert on raising daughters.
Yes, expert on failing. Learning from more of my mistakes than anything I got right. So.
But the key question is, do you have a daughter?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 10 going on 19. And so, yeah.
So she's mature for her age?
Yes.
Yes. I know girls can be very complicated.
Yes.
But that's why we're going to do this video today. You're going to give us 3 tips that could help dads out there to know how to relate to and just connect some really important things in relationship with their daughters. Okay, now before we get to the tips, what would you say is the #1 fear dads out there think about when they realize that they have to raise a daughter?
Well, you won't connect with them. That it's the wall is too high that separates a male from a female, and that it's just moms, a mom-daughter is going to have a close relationship, and you're going to be kind of kicked out to the curb.
Okay.
And that she's going to be in a relationship that's toxic and where she's taken advantage of, and
worry about that.
Yeah, that can keep you up at night.
Yes, I have a daughter too, and I also worry about that as a mom. Okay, well, so let's talk about 3 tips then, Sean, that could be helpful to some dads out there. What would be the first tip you would say?
Well, the first one is, a lot of times we look at, what information can I give her? What lesson can I tell her? But actions really do speak louder than words. And the first one is to model the right stuff to her mom, to really show her what she should look for in a man by what you lay down as an example.
Okay.
And so research shows, statistics show that the best gift you can give your daughter is a home that's safe, where she knows mom and dad, they might not have a perfect relationship, but where at the end of the day, they're committed to one another, and they let her know that, so that she feels safe, and that gives the environment that she needs to really blossom, and that to really flourish as a young woman.
Okay, so the first tip then is that dads need to think about the fact that they're the first model that their daughter has for how a man would treat a woman.
Yes.
Meaning how they are going to be treated as women.
Yes, as much as we don't like that, but it's like they're a constant recorder. They're watching us, they're listening to us, they're copying us, they're mimicking us sometimes, and we are setting the stage of what she, in the recesses of her mind, thinking in her heart, of what should she look for in a guy, in a future spouse.
Right, good.
So be that.
Right, that's great. Yeah, because I think even if you're not married, and let's say that you're divorced, even how you interface with your ex, or if you have a mother or siblings or a coworker, like how you treat women is really important, because your daughter is watching that and she's taking note of that and thinking, okay, well, so I'm going to relate to the woman in that scenario, and so if dad doesn't treat women well, then likely she'll choose a man that doesn't treat women well.
Especially if there's a divorce. My biggest, coming from a divorced family, the biggest nugget I give them, to dads and to moms, is do not trash their parent. Don't trash your ex.
Right, exactly.
And it's just so tempting.
Yes.
And we can become like a prosecuting attorney.
Sure.
And I heard one at a talk show one time of a doctor saying, you are ripping down their very DNA.
Yeah, right, because they're a product of the parent, exactly.
And it hurts. And I can speak from just experience that it would just devastate me when mom and dad would go at it and call each other every name that you can think of. All it did is rip me down too.
Exactly.
Like your kids get caught in the crossfire of you guys shooting it out. Like, the best gift you can give them is to find the good things and to stay positive and to really keep your mouth shut.
And the model being gracious and patient and all of that.
Exactly.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good. Okay, great. Okay, so what would be your next tip?
The second one is to be intentional. I have 3 kids right now between the ages of 11 and 7, and they have sports, they have academic responsibilities, they have family stuff. I have my own profession, my own job, and it's just easy to get caught up in the wave of busyness and not be intentional with our time to spend time with your daughter, to spend time to make her feel special. And it's just so easy to get caught up in our own hobbies, whether it be golf, whether it be our profession, whether it be vacations, whether it be sports, whether it be whatever it might be, to where time really does fly by as a parent. And I just saw, Tracy, so many times when I've been on vacation, I've been with my little kids playing in a pool, I've had older people who are retired come up to me and say, "You're going to miss this. Value this time." And I just think a lot of parents regret that they live for themselves when their kids were in their home.
And they miss those opportunities.
And then they're
Right.
gone and they're lonely.
Yep.
And
That's true.
So I would just say, Tracy, like really put your own agenda aside to make them the key part of your life so that they can grow and flourish the way they were
That's
intended
good.
to be.
So give me one example of a way that you're intentional with your daughter. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, one of them is that she's really into is dance, and I get allergic reactions when I go to dance competitions. It's just like a constant
Yes.
100 loud music, 150 different dances, and I'm just like, wow. And maybe one of them are good, and it's your daughters, you know, of
Right.
course. But that's just something though that she's into, that she with her practicing and
Sure.
and going to those things of just showing her that I love you and I care for you, and it is interesting.
And you're there to support her.
To be there, yeah,
That's
absolutely,
excellent.
yeah.
Good. Okay, so what's the last tip you would have?
The last one is, Tracy, I grew up in a family where both my parents were divorced a sum total of 7 times. And so I didn't really know what a good family looked like, a family where there was maturity. My parents split up when I was almost 2. And again, they had a really toxic relationship and they went into other toxic relationships as a result. And so I really didn't know, how do you do it?
Right.
How does a healthy
How am
family...
I supposed to be a husband or a dad?
Yeah, and I just really found myself that I sought out mentors, and I really looked for guys that I respected. I saw them interact with their family, or I saw how their kids were doing, and I was like, wow, they're
doing something
they're
right.
mature,
Yeah.
they're really doing
Sure.
well, and so I sought out probably 7 to 10 guys over the course of the last 20 years that have really been intentional with me. They've pointed out give me some really good
Sure,
tips and
of
wisdom,
course.
and I've really benefited from that
Good.
a lot.
Okay, so just to review, I think these are really good tips. So you want to make sure you model the right things.
Yes.
You want to be intentional with your daughters, and then find a mentor if you don't have some great examples in your life, because we all need mentors in whatever capacity that
Absolutely.
we're in.
And as guys, to be honest, we just don't like opening up or admitting that we need help.
Sure.
It's just really hard. We're told like real men pull themselves up by their bootstraps and don't need help, and
Right.
this is such a myth. It's such a lie. That there are wise people out there, really good people, who have integrity, who've done it, who've done the race,
Right.
and
they're ahead of you.
They can lend a hand.
Right, exactly.
So don't try to go it alone and get lost, and all of a sudden you live with regret
That's good.
that you didn't make these decisions ahead of time.
That's great. Well, thanks for being here today, Sean.
It's a pleasure.
So my hope is that you would use those questions below and have a conversation with someone in your world and just learn how to be a better dad. Use these tips and apply them to your life. We'll see you in the next video.